Welcome back, everybody. We are here with another College Football 26 preview. You guys seem to enjoy the one we did for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now we are going to be looking at, in my opinion, might be a top 3 team to use in College Football 26. I think they're not far off in College Football 25. I'm honestly glad more people don't use Florida in the Road to the CFP in this, because very annoying team to go against, and they are going to get even better next year. So just a few general notes about the Florida Gators here. In this year's game, they're an 85 overall, 82 offense, 84 defense, but they did finish the season ripping off 4 straight wins. Before that, in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, dropped a close one to Georgia. I know final score, I think, was 14-point Georgia victory. Game was much closer than that. Florida was in that one deep in the fourth quarter, if memory serves correctly. I should probably look that up before making these, but I didn't, so we're rolling with it. But then they did get wins over LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State, which everybody got a win over Florida State last year, and Tulane in the bowl game, with DJ Lagway leading the way, much like we saw with Texas Tech, and we're going to see in pretty much every team that we're going to talk about in this little preview series. It's going to be bolstered, being powered, being driven forward by the quarterback, not the one behind my face over here, Graham Mertz, but by upcoming sophomore DJ Lagway, of course. And a side note quickly, Florida fans, how do you guys feel about Graham Mertz? Because I've read some things that Florida fans really liked him. Fought through a lot of injuries, showed a lot of heart, which is great. Unfortunately, he didn't really work out at Wisconsin. Never really lived up to his 5-star rating. I don't think he fully did at Florida either, but hey, if Florida fans like him, that's good enough for me. So let's just head over to the depth chart and take a look at why I think Florida is going to be so dang good next year. It's not the same story that we saw with Texas Tech. They were really bolstered by the transfer portal. Anything weaknesses they had on their depth chart, they went after in the portal and really shored those up. Florida is relying much more on returning talent as of the recording of this. Again, I'm recording this before the spring portal. Risky move. I understand that, especially with some of the news coming out of Tennessee. Sorry, Volunteer fans. But I'm still not expecting a ton of shakeup to come in the spring. I think a lot of it already happened in the winter. So yeah, only 5 transfers coming in for Florida. One of them is at quarterback, but it's going to be a backup, so we're not even going to look at that. We are going to focus on DJ Lagway. As a freshman, he ended the year as an 82 overall with 88 speed. So in real life, he started only 7 games this past year, but Florida went 6-1 in those games. 1,900 pass yards, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions is a lot. You don't love to see that. But I still think with those stats and just being Florida, right? EA is going to make Florida good. They're going to make SEC teams a little bit inflated. In Lagway, just from stats alone, should get up to about an 85 overall. He might end up going a little bit higher just because it is Florida. The reason I am hesitant to say he's going to go up to an upper 80s or 90s, though, is because this is going to be his coming up sophomore year. So they got to kind of think about 27 too. So if you make Lagway like a 90 overall or something with 92 speed, what are you going to do in 27? Or you make DJ Lagway 95 overall? I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to go 87 DJ Lagway with 90 speed is going to be my guess. Abilities, we're going to assume EA is not going to be introducing any new crazy abilities in 26. It's risky, I guess, but I just don't see that happening. And I think a lot of these guys with abilities in this game are going to keep at least the same abilities, maybe get more, maybe they'll change up a couple, maybe they'll level them up a little bit. But baseline, we're assuming abilities are essentially going to stay the same. So with all that considered, DJ Lagway is going to be next year's Jalen Milroe. And put it out there, I'm going to say it. If you've played Road to the CFP, you know how frustrating it is to go against Jalen Milroe in Alabama in this game, because he has extender, because he has the speed, the size, all of that. That's going to be DJ Lagway next year. He's 6'3", 240. He already has gold extender. He has magician. He has off-platform. He has mobile resistance. And that's just as a freshman. I think these abilities get better. I think his overall gets better. I think he is going to be the best quarterback to user in College Football 26. I'm putting my stamp on it right now. Make it official. Send it into the offices. DJ Lagway going to be a monster. Let's even just compare really quickly DJ Lagway as a freshman here in April of College Football 25 to Jalen Milroe and how he finished the season. Okay, so Lagway, we can see here before we go to Alabama. 82 overall, 88 speed. Option King, off-platform, gold extender, magician, gold mobile resistance. Jalen Milroe, 92 overall, 92 speed. So he's 4 speed faster. Lagway's going to get awful close to 92 speed. I know he wasn't that much of a runner this year. It's hard to tell just by looking at rush yardage stats, because sacks count against rush yards in college football. But he didn't have any games over 50 yards of rushing, but I still think they're going to just boost everything about DJ Lagway. So he'll get close to Milroe in speed. Milroe, gold extender, silver magician, just like Lagway already has. They both have the bronze off platform. Milroe has the bronze mobile deadeye. Lagway had gold mobile resistance and sleight of hand on Milroe, and it was option king on DJ Lagway. So they're already very, very similar. Lagway's bigger, already has the gold extender, already has silver magician. If he just gets a little bit more speed, I'm telling you, DJ Lagway is going to be so annoying to try to stop in college football 26. And Florida did get a transfer quarterback, Harrison Bailey from Louisville, but he's 75 overall or something, just going to be a backup. Now, I don't think we need to actually go and look at that. Then completing the Gators backfield, the halfbacks, Montreal Johnson is obviously not going to be around next year as a senior. But coming back is actually the team's leading rusher, was a freshman, will be a sophomore, Jaden Baugh, who had 133 carries, 673 yards, 7 touchdowns on the season as a freshman. He's already got my personal favorite ability stack. I love power backs, workhorse, armbar, head first downhill. Give it to me all day. Absolutely love it. So him coming back with that stat line, he's going to be close to Johnson. Mid 80s, 84 to 86 overall, somewhere around there. If you get his speed up to even just a 90, to have a power back with those abilities at 90 speed to pair with DJ Lagway in your backfield is gonna be insane. That's gonna be so good. Also coming back is Jacoby Jackson. Now he has no abilities in the game as of right now, but last year he did have 95 carries, over 500 yards of rushing, and 7 touchdowns. He might get 1 or 2. So you have a 1-2 punch at power back between Jackson and Baugh, but it's really, I think, gonna be Jaden Baugh and DJ Lagway. Read options between those two, speed options between those two. Gonna make Florida, just from that, going to make them very tough to play against, and we haven't even looked at wide receivers yet. Florida does take a little bit of a ding here at wide receiver. Their top 2 receivers, Badger, and I'm going with DK to pronounce this because I can't imagine it's Dyke. Maybe it is, but I'm going with DK. They are both seniors. They will both be gone. They were the team's top 2 receivers throughout last season, combined over 80 catches, almost 1,600 yards. Definitely going to feel that in the receiver room a little bit, but Wilson will be back. 87 overall, 93 speed in this game. Layout, double dip, gold takeoff, shifty, incredible ability stack. And he only played in 4 games last year, but he was 3rd on the team in receptions with 19. Yikes, that's why missing these 2 guys is going to be tough. He had 19, 266, and a touchdown. Again, just assume his overall and everything. This exact player gets just copied and pasted into next year's game. Still a really good receiver with those abilities and 93 speed. Also coming back, Mizell. 96 speed with gold takeoff. And he only had 17 catches, couple hundred yards, 2 touchdowns. But once again, just boost his overall by 2, maybe 3. Keep 96 speed, keep gold takeoff. We have 2 gold takeoff wide receivers already between Wilson and Mizell. They did lose a transfer in the wide receiver room here too, though. Burke went to Central Florida, but the 95 speed Abrams is back. 97 speed Hawkins is going to be back. Hawkins at 10 catches, 100 yards, a touchdown, not much, but he was a freshman. Abrams, also a freshman, only caught a couple passes throughout the season. But still, again, if their overalls and speeds all just stay the same. We've got Wilson, 93 speed, gold takeoff. We've got Mizell, 96 speed, gold takeoff. We've got Abrams, 95 speed. You have Hawkins, 97 speed. What more do you need? What more do you need than those 4 wide receivers right there with Lagway, with those running backs? This offense is gonna... yeah, it's gonna be crazy. The rollout possibilities with Lagway, the power back in there, like, this offense is gonna be so good. Even just copy and paste these receivers. This offense is going to be nuts. That tight end, we actually do see something kind of, I don't know, I found it interesting. You might not. Boardingham finished the season 4th interceptions in 11 games for Florida. He had 18 for 128 and 2 scores, but he decided to transfer to, of all places, Bowling Green. I'm guessing he saw what they did with Harold Fannin Jr. last year, as he set just about every record known to man for a tight end. Decided, I want in on some of that. I'll head to... Bowling Green is in Bowling Green. It's Kentucky. No, they're in Ohio. Western Kentucky, I think, is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's weird there's 2 Bowling Greens. Well, there's one university named Bowling Green, but there's 2 colleges and cities called Bowling Green. Anyway, that is where Arliss Boardingham is going. But Hayden Hansen, not very good in this game. Blocking tight end, 78 overall, only 70 speed, but he did have 15 catches, 207 yards and a touchdown. So hopefully he's going to get quite a boost, at least in speed, because he is 6'7", 267. That is a monster of a tight end. Or you do have, no, you don't have him. Never mind. What am I saying? He's a senior. Even if just give him to, like, I don't know, 77. That's a big jump for speed. I don't know if he's gonna be super usable in this game, but you will have this Amir Jackson as someone you could put into. He's vertical threat, 6'5", so still really good size, 83 speed in this game. I don't believe he caught a pass for Florida last year, but it will depend what they end up doing with Hansen. But if you don't want to put him in, because again, it's not like they're going to bump him up to 80-something speed or something just because he had however many catches I said, 15. But you'll have an option there with Amir Jackson, too, to get yourself a little bit of speed at tight end, to go with the absurd speed we saw at wide receiver, with the power back, halfback, with DJ Lagway running the ship. I don't know what more you want from an offense than what Florida's going to have next year. I really don't. Like, if I had to pick a team to avoid going against, both in College Football 25 and looking forward, it's Florida. And that's just offense. Really, when I'm saying that, I'm thinking about their defense. And the defensive line of Florida is going to be very good next year. Tyreek Sapp already had bronze quick jump, silver takedown, 83 overall. Led the way with 7 sacks and 13 tackle for loss last year. He could get up to an 88, something like that. With a 7-sack season, he should get a solid jump. His quick jump's probably going to get elevated to a silver, potentially a gold. Keep that takedown on him. Insane defensive end there. James, also going to be around for another year. Already has outside disruptor and inside disruptor. He only had a couple sacks last year, but he is a run-stopping defensive end, so you don't really expect those guys to get too many sacks. Just keep him 82 to 84, potentially 85 overall. Keep outside disruptor, inside disruptor, put him at D-tackle, bing, bang, boom. You are looking pretty good there. Right end, Slackman is going to be leaving as a senior. Banks is going to be back with Grip Breaker. He was third on the team in sacks, He had 4.5 sacks last season, 7 tackles for losses. Again, going to boost that overall up, you would have to imagine. 83, 84, somewhere around there. And now with Banks and Sapp, those would probably be your edge guys. Well, it would kind of depend if they get Banks another ability or not. Grip Breaker's pretty good for D-tackle. It's not bad for defensive end either. So you have Banks and Sapp on the outside. Put somebody like James on the inside, because D-tackle, they do take a bit of a hit in that room with Jackson, and potentially my favorite player in all of college football last season was Desmond Watson. 6'5", 415 pounds. God bless you, buddy. I don't know how he can move. I don't know how anybody's going to ever block him. His whole existence as a good football player is an enigma to me, but I love it. I'm all about it. But still, losing these two is certainly going to hurt. That's why I was saying maybe you move one of those defensive ends, unless they actually move in the game next year. You could always just move one to a D-tackle. You'd have this takedown on Lions and put him with probably Cameron James, I think, would work best as a D-tackle. So you have outside disruptor, inside disruptor, takedown on the inside. On the outside, you're going to have a quick jump and a takedown and a grip breaker. Pretty dang good defensive line for a 85 overall tier 3 team, in my opinion. And they did hit the transfer portal here for one player so far, Kofi Asari. Again, guessing on that pronunciation, not 100%, from UMass. He had 3 sacks last year, 6 tackles for loss, 30 total sacks. He's like a 74 overall in this game with no ability, so again, we don't really need to bother showing him. I totally forgot something. 100% forgot something. We got to go back to wide receiver. I had it written down and totally skipped over it. They actually got a transfer from UCLA. I was too excited about those 4 receivers they had coming back with all 93 plus speed, but they've also got J. Michael, again, guessing on this, Sturdivant, it's got to be one of those two. He is headed to Florida. So this is going to be an interesting one for me if I remember to actually take a look when the game comes out. So he's an 85 overall with 94 speed. Super good. Very, very good wide receiver. But last year, 22 catches, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that has gone down every single year since 2022. He was at Cal that year, went to UCLA. His receptions and his yardage has gone down every single season. So maybe Florida can get him back to that 2022 mode where he had around 600 yards for Cal. But overall wise, I'm not sure what to expect with him. I mentioned in Texas Tech, and I'm sticking with this philosophy, though, that I don't think EA is going to punish guys who had down years. If they're going to downgrade you, it's going to be like from an 85 to an 83. I don't think they're going to have too many people that are going to drop by 10 or anything like that. I don't think they're going to take too many abilities away. They want people to keep signing up to be in the game. So I think Sturdivant is still going to be a solid addition to that wide receiver room, but honestly, Florida doesn't even need him. You really don't, but it'll still be another good body to have in that wide receiver room. Okay, let's get back to Florida. Let's get to their linebackers. So the core linebacker group here for the Gators, TJ Searcy, gone, headed to Texas A&M. Their middle linebacker, this is the big one that's going to hurt for them in the game next year. Shamar James was a monster for Florida last year. He actually is going to the NFL draft, went a year early. He's the second leading tackler on the whole team was Shamar James. Searcy had 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 34 total tackles. It's a loss. Not the biggest one in the world when we still have George Gums Jr. back here too, who was second on the team actually with 5 sacks, 8 tackles for losses. He's going to get a good boost next year. He could potentially get a quick jump, some sort of edge rushing ability to help out, which we don't really need that much help on the defensive line, but still put him in as, your rush left end or something like that. Other than that, we have got a middle linebacker here, Miles Graham. Was in there with 30 total tackles. He had 1 sack. He also had an interception last year. He had bronze house call as a freshman. A freshman with a year like that, he could get up to 80 to 82 would be my guess. Get his speed up to like an 86, and that is a very good user linebacker for you. I was hoping for Moten, but he was a senior. 90 speed middle linebacker, so rare to find, and so good to put in as your sub linebacker. But Graham, I think, will be a pretty good replacement in that going forward here for Florida at right outside linebacker. You have Howard's going to be coming back, and Robinson, who does have a bronze quick jump already, is going to be back as well. Robinson was actually 4th on the team in sacks. He did have 3.5 last year, 52 total tackles. So have 3.5 sacks and that many tackles. You got to expect him to get an overall boost in here too, maybe up to around where Howard is. Maybe that's a big jump. But I could see it up to an 80 as a sophomore to a junior. Give him a little more speed. Maybe give him a silver quick jump or something. Now your pass rush on Florida is looking really, really good. You have a couple quick jumps. You have the inside disruptor, outside disruptor, grip breakers, takedowns. Your pass rush on Florida is looking really, really good. And we haven't gotten to the most annoying part of this defense yet, which is the cornerback room. Now, I don't know if I've uploaded this video yet, but I'm going to make a video of using this Florida defense, and on defense, just not even doing anything, putting the controller down, just calling man defense, pressing, and letting them do their thing. 'Cause this cornerback rooms, this is what I was talking about when I said I'm glad people don't use Florida more, specifically because I don't want to just face 2-man under, like shaded down press coverage. Because look, these jammer, 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 jammer. Top 4 all have jammer and blanket coverage, and it's absolutely insane. So Marshall's obviously going to be gone as a senior. Moore is coming back. Jackson transferred to the LSU Tigers. But McLean, Johnson, and down here, Grimsley already has bronze jammer, and he was a freshman who redshirted this year. So he's going to be able to just take one of those spots, no problem. If, again, they keep these abilities. Johnson, we'll see. Maybe they switch him from a zone tendency to a man-to-man, give him a jammer and blanket coverage too. Why the heck not? Florida's secondary is going to be almost the same. Obviously, a 90 overall is a big hit. Of course, you're going to miss that. But Moore is going to get a good upgrade. He only played in 7 games last year, but he had 2 interceptions. The only other one on here that had 1 was McLean. So you're going to be dropping 190 overall, but Moore's going to get up 85, 86. McLean up to 83, 84. Johnson, you're hoping up to an 80 or something like that. It does look like they might have used him a little more as a blitzer. He had 27 total tackles. He had 2 tackles for loss, so he might be another quick jump slot corner or something like that. And then Grimsley, like I said, was redshirted this year, but he already has jammer. So even if you run nickel, you're going to have 3 jammer, potentially blanket coverages in here too, with Moore, McLean, and Grimsley. Very, very annoying to go up against. No transfers at linebacker, none at corner. So now on to the last part of the Florida Gators, their safety room. We're here at free safety. Jordan Castells, run support, hammer, aftershock. It was really good for Florida last year. At 55 total tackles. That almost seems like it should be a strong safety instead of a free safety. 2 tackles for losses and 1 sack. Guy was really, really good. And you can expect an overall jump coming from here to 80 up to maybe an 84 or so. Bridges is a senior. He will be gone. Covington's a 62 overall. Who really cares? Down here, Denson will be coming back, though, who seemed like another more strong safety type. He had 37 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and an interception. So he could get up to an 80-ish overall, too. Could be a sub-linebacker with that middle linebacker we talked about earlier. And you can see the picture of how this Florida defense is going to be difficult to deal with next year. At strong safety, Douglas, senior, obviously gone. Smith did enter the transfer portal, but hasn't committed anywhere yet that I saw. So it's possible he comes back, which would be great. I mean, 6'3", 211 with 90 speed, sub linebacker, or even just up top as a safety, having that height and that speed is really, really good. And Thornton here will be coming back as well, who actually led the entire Florida Gators defense with 3 interceptions, 41 total tackles in there as well. You're going to have options of what you want to do here at safety between Smith if he comes back, Thornton, Castell at free safety, Denson at free safety. You can be able to mix and match whatever you want to do with those jammers and at least a couple probably blanket coverages on your outside corners. Press man, 2-man under, something like that. Let those big boy defensive front just get after the quarterback, and I mean, you're not going to have anywhere to go. So the Florida Gators, the offense, recap. Back up a second, recap the Florida Gators. DJ Lagway at quarterback is going to be Jalen Milroe. That's just what it's going to be. Jaden Baugh at halfback. Big old bruising power back. Get him to around 90 speed. Keep those same abilities. Good luck stopping just those 2. Wide receiver, we got those 4 returning that were all at least 93 speed in this game that we can expect. Potentially will go up. Maybe the freshman will stay the same. Plus that UCLA receiver, which I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. Overall in speed wise, we'll have to see. Tight end might be the only issue with this team, that Hayden, the big blocking tight end, but we have that younger tight end with the 84 speed in there too. So the offense as a whole is going to be crazy. It can be super dynamic. You'll be able to throw it deep. You'll be able to run the ball. You'll be able to run with DJ Lagway if you want. You'll be able to do whatever you want with this Florida offense. And on defense, the defensive line's all going to get upgraded. Tyreek Sapp is going to be a monster next year. The only potential issue they might have is D-tackle, but even if who they actually have listed as D-tackles in the game aren't the best, you should be able to move some of those defensive ends where they've got some depth in there, move some of those guys to D-tackle, and you should mostly be totally fine. At linebacker, even with losing those 2, they got enough returning. You got to expect some good boosts coming on some of those guys between Gums, Graham, Howard, and Robinson. I think at least 2 or 3 of those guys. Personally, I don't really use linebackers all that much anyway. I use more safeties as sub linebackers. It's really just if you can get some extra pass rush from those guys is really what's going to make them stand out. Corners, still going to be very, very good. Still going to have jammers, still going to have blanket coverages, still going to be able to just press your receivers into the dirt. Safeties, you're going to have options of what you want to do. Castell, Denson, and Thornton. Those 3, mix and match how you want. Put one at sub linebacker, move a free safety to strong safety, whatever you want to do. You'll be able to do with the Florida Gators, and that's why I think they are going to be one of the very best teams for you to use in college football 26. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little pit stop down to Gainesville. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to let me know by hitting that like button or dropping a comment, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. It does help a ton if you would like this series to continue. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time. Till then, take it easy.